investigation. One presentation well known by AMSA, the Australian Maritime Safety Authority, is very amazing and interesting of the use of AIS. They show the traffic in a channel in the Barrier Reef. And before the AIS was in place, there was a channel with H2 navigations, buoys and everything, and the authorities were expecting that the ships passing along respect the channels. And one day they put an AIS, just an AIS receiver, and they saw, to their surprise, that no one of the ships was really in the channel. They were all outside. It means they need, from that, to reconsider the channel, to reconsider the safety of the area, and to change a lot of things. It means nowadays that because we have this tool, it's not anymore possible, I say already, to ignore such a situation. You have heard of VTM, VTMIS, and all things like that. The basic tools for organizing all this exchange of information, not only between the shore maritime safety side and the ship, but with all the interest in the maritime trip, is to use AIS. Of course, we have to mention POSA and IRAP Mark II that you heard beginning of this week. What is possibilities with these new tools, and you know that IALA is organizing training course for the at least IRAP MK2, and have some plan to organize also training course for POSA. You have heard also of the development of the commercial version of the IRAP MK2, and I think it's now very, very easy when you have the AIS information to run the IRAP MK2, and it's important to know the risk, to have good knowledge of the risk. Of course, AIS is not the only things to improve safety of navigations. We have a lot of other things, but to start to know exactly how to implement all these tools, safety of navigation tools, you need, once again, to know the traffic. So to start, for all countries, to start is not expensive. To start, you have to install some AIS receivers along the coast, AIS receivers on a pile with a solar panel to have some power, probably a small computer with some memories to register the information during some time, 6 months for instance, 12 months if the traffic is seasonal. And after that you will have the knowledge. If you can buy during some time the LRIT information, you can have the information and know the risk along your coast up to 1,000 miles. To have a better knowledge of the traffic not only on your coast but in the region, or even more globally, you join IALA2010. Joining IALA2010 is very easy. If you have only one AIS receiver information, you are entitled to sign for IALA2010 and to be part of the new world of exchanging information all over the world. So, if my advice to all countries which have not started to do that, it's to start by installing AIS receivers to know the traffic. It's cheap, but it's essential for facing your responsibilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jean-Charles. Our next speaker is Neil Guy. Rear Admiral Dr. Neil Guy has degrees in surveying, marine and public law and a PhD in international law. He has had a career involving hydrography, topography, engineering, geodetic and cadastral surveying, cartography and international law. He has commanded ships and shore establishments and was for 5 years a director of the International Hydrographic Bureau in Monaco. He has written books and papers on these subjects and is at the present the regional coordinator for the Western Indian Ocean Project for the Marine Highway and for the prevention of coastal and marine pollution. Now the title of Neil's presentation is exactly that, the project that he's busy with, and that is the Western Indian Ocean Marine Highway Development and Coastal and Marine Pollution Prevention Project. Neil, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I had a bit of a problem in preparing for this presentation because some of you might never have heard of the project, and if I leave things out, you wouldn't understand it. And others must be so sick of hearing about this project because we've been planning and implementing it since 2003. So I've called it an update on the Western Indian Ocean, and if I leave things out, please, during the question time, would you? This is the region that we're talking about. I'll show another slide just now, which indicates the area in greater detail, but that's globally where we are at. Just getting used to this. There we go. These are diagrammatic and they indicate the main routes that are of concern to us, and it's basically because of the vast VLCC trade that's coming from the Persian Gulf around Africa and also now from West Africa going eastwards. And these routes here on the lower side here are purely diagrammatic because in fact they go very, very much closer to Mauritius and La Réunion. These are the countries involved. There are 8 recipient states in the project, which is Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, and South Africa, and then the island states of Madagascar, Seychelles, Comores, and Mauritius. Included in that are the islands of Mayotte and La Réunion, which are French territory, and they support the project and have done an enormous amount of work in the area for us. Just to give you an indication of the terrain, the Mozambique Channel is subject to its own variations of currents and winds, and a spill in the area is actually distributed widely up and down north and south of the channel. The marine resources and fisheries in the area are vital to the local communities. It's a huge part of their income and also of their sustenance. This is just an altimetry view of the Mozambique Channel to give you an indication of the terrain that we're looking at. And I might say that when we started the project, I took all the British Admiralty charts of the region. I joined them together in a huge montage covering the whole of the Mozambique Channel and other areas. I marked all the areas where lights were suspect or were needed in sort of a day glow orange. And then I marked all the notes that appear on charts that we put there as hydrographers indicating that a position is suspect or caution should be taken. And this huge montage looked as if it had measles. It is, unfortunately, the threats are 30% of the world's crude oil supplies come down through the channel. You may recall just a moment ago, Jean-Charles showed you the traffic areas, and there's a huge swathe that passes around southern Africa from the east to the west and now from the west to the east. The VLCCs travel from the Persian Gulf and Indonesia to Europe and the Americas and now eastwards from West Africa to Asia. We estimate about 5,000 tanker voyages per year passing close to the coastlines and islands in the region, and Al Dabra is a World Heritage Site, and we estimate, it's a huge island, you may or may not be aware of it, it's a huge island, and in fact the capital of the Seychelles, Mahe Island, can actually fit into the lagoon of Aldabra. And we estimate that it'll take 1,000 years to recover should it be polluted.